have been powerful liquid painkiller known as fentanyl and replacing it with water. The Chief Executive of Ambulance Victoria, Greg Sassella, has just held a news conference to respond to those allegations. Is now live from Melbourne. Greg, good morning to you. First of all, what is this drug that we're talking about and how easy is it to tamper with in the first place?
Good morning, Ron. The drug that we're talking about is called fentanyl. It's a synthetic man-made drug. It's to do with pain relief. It's quite a potent pain reliever, and we would use it with other drugs, for example, methoxyfluorine and morphine. So it's for severe pain. It's presented in an ampule such as I'm demonstrating now. The ampule has a wrapped plastic sealed envelope that's removed. It then has a cap that requires to be moved. That cap is popped up, and then there's a rubber stopper, and the paramedic will then, using a needle, will extract 2 millimetres of the drug and will then apply what's called a nasal atomizer, which then is applied into the nostril and squirted 1 ml each into each nostril. It's a powerful drug, which means we have to use less of it. It's a very simple administration of it, and it's also via the nasal route. Having used water is absolutely safe. There would be no negative patient impact other than they might not have received the pain reductions that we would normally expect. And having said that, paramedics still... So we've been able to go back through each patient who was in contact with this issue, and we've been able to confirm that there's been nothing untoward to those patients, some of them that did receive good pain relief by using other types of pharmacology.
Greg, one person has so far been stood down over this case, but the drug, we understand, was taken from a number of stations. Are other staff still being looked at?
The police investigation is still underway, and unfortunately I really can't speak about the details because of that reason. So even as we speak this morning, the investigation continues. One paramedic has been stood down on full pay while we're investigating, but the investigation continues. You
were saying there that this is a very powerful drug. I understand it's something like 10 times the impact of morphine and has an effect similar to heroin. So you imagine there's a very big illegal market for this sort of product.
Look, the size of the market for fentanyl I'm not aware of. That's possibly a question for Victoria Police, but certainly any of the opioids, heroin, morphine, fentanyl, and there's many others, pethidine, they are, to some people, irresistible. It's very, very uncommon in ambulances, including ours. It's uncommon in hospitals. Unfortunately, though, there are some people who are unable to resist the temptation, and for whatever use they have, the police will obviously identify that.
Are you concerned that the public might now question its confidence in your service?
Well, I think the history we have is very good. We've been stocking and delivering opioid drugs to patients since 1969, 1970. We've got a very, very strong record of safety. We also have a strong record of when we've ever identified this type of issue, we deal with it very quickly and very successfully. So I think the community confidence should remain high in ambulance and the paramedics. This is a very rare occurrence, so far really only involving, at this stage, just one person.
You've already demonstrated the product you've got on your hand there. Is anything more in the future?
We always, with our manufacturers, whether it's the medical equipment or the pharmacology, we're always talking to improve, whether it's the labelling, the way it's packaged, the volume that's involved. And in this case, we've been talking with the company for around about 12 months to see if there can't be an even further security put around the vial. But as you saw, it's not that simple to access. It has to be a very deliberate, conscious activity. But yes, we have managed to get delivery of a new upgraded packaging, which will have a steel element. Effectively, it's still difficult and has to be intentional to access it.
Greg, thank you very much for having a talk with us this morning. Greg Sassella is the Chief Executive of Ambulance Victoria. Thank you.